Crickbuzz Combox at the halfway mark, just trying to assess where we stand in the company of Michael Vaughan, looking at 91 for 2. What's your first take on the surface? Because obviously if you have a look at the kind of start that Rohit Sharma, Surya Kumar Yadav, they were looking explosive enough for 200 plus, but they've pulled it back a little bit.
Yeah, they have. I mean, if you actually look at the surface, it looks a belter, but I think the Kings will be disappointed. They bowled too wide. You look at the seam bowlers, they've gone for near on 60 in their 5 overs. Andrew Tai, Shami and Vijunu got the wicket of Rohit Sharma, but I just think they've offered too much width. Take the pace off, bowl straight. We've seen the action of both the Ashwins, that little bit of pace off, little bit of skill, bit of variation, just bowling it nice and straight, not giving the batsmen any width to manoeuvre their arms. It's now looking like a 180 plus. What did you say at the start of the game?
Yeah, I had 187, you had 160.
My 161's looking a little bit light at the minute. Your 187 could be spot on.
But we heard Mike Hesson, we talked about Mike Hesson at the start of the show, and he also had a very similar assessment. He said, look, you've got to vary your lines and lengths. It's a good enough surface unless you do something about it as a bowling unit.
Yeah, and that's the key to any cricket, but particularly T20 cricket, is reacting to the surface once you go out there. You always feel that you've got an indication of how a pitch will play pre-match, but it's all about adapting when you're out there. If you look at particularly those first 3 or 4 overs, you know, Rohit Sharma just opened up his arms wide off the offside, going over cover point on a couple of occasions. They didn't bowl enough on and around the off stump and straight. There's again the old basics: just bowl as straight as you possibly can, restrict the arms, restrict the hands from getting away from the body to play the baseball style game that we see so often these days in T20 cricket. So they're adapting. That's why sometimes batting first is an advantage. You know, as much as it can be an advantage chasing, sometimes when you're playing a pitch like this, Mumbai will be assessing exactly how Kings have bowled and should be able to put that into fruition in the second innings.
You talked about the quicker bowlers with their lines and their lengths going for a few, but the 2 Ashwins between them, with Varun Chakravarti not playing, 5 overs, 1 for 33 between the 2 of them. Murugan Ashwin has come in for his first game, looking very impressive indeed.
Yeah, and that mystery, you know, spinning the ball either way, as can Ravi Ashwin. That's the key in T20 cricket, is just having the ability to just ask a question of the batsman. You know, the ball's in the air and the batsman's thinking, is it going to be the off spinner? Is it going to be the one that's going away from the bat? Is it going to be the dooser? Is it going to be the googly? Is it going to be the normal leg spinner? I think when you can have these different questions that you can pose to the batsman, it just gives them that split second longer to try and think about which areas of the ground they're going to be trying to target. That's why the mystery spinners are so important.
Well, we've got a bit of a strange emotion for the crowd, because obviously they're supporting the home team, but the gentleman out there, Yuvraj Singh, he's the prince of Mohali, as it were. So from his point of view, will he be feeling the pressure a little bit?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, he's so experienced. He's played enough cricket to know that his role now, with the fact that Quinton de Kock's starting to flourish, is just give Quinton de Kock the stride. I think that's when you see experience. Sometimes you can try and catch up, and you know, his job in 3 or 4 overs' time, if he's still there, will be to try and strike the boundary. But whatever Quinton de Kock's doing, what we've just seen in the last 2 or 3 overs, you just get the one and give him the strike.
All right, never mind about the MPL Super Couch. At this stage, 91 for 2, which was at the 10 over mark, what would be the kind of score with the Mumbai dugout would be looking at, with Pollard and the Pandyas to come?
Well, you want to be doubling it at least, but if Quinton can bat till around the 18th over, which is what you expect your opening batsman to do, once he's there at the 10th over, he's got to 45, started to find the boundaries, started to find his rhythm. He knows the conditions better than anybody. I think the Mumbai Indians were saying continue to play in the fashion, because he hasn't really taken massive risks. He's just played good, strong cricket shots. Those stroke through mid-wicket for 4, beautiful shots. So you'd be hoping that he bats to around the 18th over mark, and you hope for cameos from the likes of Pollard, from Krunal Pandya, Hardik Pandya, and then all of a sudden Yuvraj Singh gets into his 6 hitting mode. Anything's possible. 200 could be on the cards if that kind of scenario happens, but for the Kings 11, they need wickets. They've got to get Quinton de Kock out very quickly.
Michael Vaughan still harbouring aspirations of sitting on that MPL Super Couch, but nonetheless, I think it's that Mumbai dressing room looking a little more comfortable at the moment.